Welcome to this week's episode of Tête-à-Tête, Mr. Syukri.
Thank you very much, Hanniz. Thanks for inviting me. Happy to be here.
It's my pleasure. So thank you for coming, and I would like to introduce our topic this week. So businesses are evolving in the face of disruption, and organizations realize that productivity has been a bit flat and on the decline. So in today's episode, I have with me Mr. Syukri Ahmad Sudari. He is the Chief People Officer of AXA Affin General Insurance Berhad. And we're going to talk about how HR leaders need to rethink outdated views and establish a new set of truths and help their staff maintain a balanced lifestyle. So Mr. Syukri is an experienced HR professional with over 20 years of experience across industries. He serves as AXA's CPO since 2006 and plays a pivotal role in driving the HR transformation in AXA. Syukri is also the president of Association of Insurance Employers and council member of the Malaysian Employer Federation. So actually, this is very exciting because, AXA Affin General Insurance actually started off the year with a bang. You guys won 4 global HR awards at the Global HR Excellence Awards and Global Best Employer Brand Award 2020. So their recipe for success, they say, would be the company's culture and DNA. So Mr. Syukri, with more people working from home, and how has it been leading a team remotely?
Hanniz, all of those things coming at a sudden. I think we never imagined that from working from the office, suddenly everyone disappeared working from home.
Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, all are working very well. Even we started, I think, quite aggressively because we have started planning to work from home. In fact, to be honest with you, 5 years ago, we did look into the proposal. But COVID-19 has changed everything immediately. Everybody's going home, working from home. In that sense, for me personally, everything went well. Adopting a new normal. But again, I think whatever that success of today is not just a one-day overnight kind of thing. So we have a plan, all those things. I think in AXA because we really bang strongly on our culture. We have a very strong purpose. The purpose is to empower people to live better life. So empowerment is a key here. So I think one of the key recipe to make that work from home or remote teams are successful is the ability of people to have trust within the managers and the staff. So empowerment will not be feeling like that if we don't have trust. So what we have built, I think, really shows that how important is the empowerment. So with that, I think it's easy for me to manage the team. So, from managing people in the office now, we are managing people leading by webcam. So I call it LBW, leading by webcam. So we are managing people with webcams on daily basis in that sense. So it's totally different feeling. So the 4 ingredients talking about the trust, communications, relationships, and expectations are important, all those things. But we have prepared, as you mentioned, just won a lot of awards last year, the year before, because we have a lot of programs that really looking to our employees as one of the most important asset. How we really have a work-life balance, introduce a program. So with all the programs that we have, for example, like compressed work schedule, that have helped the managers to create a new mindset among the managers. Because in the past, managers perhaps were thinking that in order for me to manage my team, I need all of them to be in the office and in front of me. But when we first introduced in 2017 CWSA, compressed work schedule arrangement, so that's where the starting point that managers look at, not necessarily the team need to be in the office in that sense. So if you ask me personally, do I miss my colleagues? Yes, of course. I really miss all of them. I miss that having virtual discussion, lunch together, all the engagement. But do I have any option? No, I don't have any option. This is a new normal. So things are progressing well. Hopefully one day we can meet again. We can have a normal kind of lunch together, get together, all the things. Hanniz.
Yes, I think trust is super important, especially because you need you need to trust your staff to be doing their work. You cannot you cannot impose your micromanaging skills and expect them to immediately respond to your requests, because they have a lot of things going on in their own homes as well. So what kind of tools do you have to actually recommend to increase efficiency and effectiveness among your team members?
The way that I want to tackle your question just now, I think it's a good question. The way that I want to tackle the question is that I look into, I'll share whatever that we are using. I'm not going to recommend anything, by the way, but I just want to share any tools. Before we choose any tools or using any tools that have been provided by the company, first we need to know that the purpose. I think that's important. By knowing the purpose, then only then we can use the tool effectively in that sense. So in terms of tool, there are two parts in the tools. Tools that can respond to you online and immediately instant. For example, Messenger, WhatsApp, etc., and so on and so forth. And then the one that been delayed, for example, email. I give example. If you expect someone to respond to you immediately, we have to choose the right tool. If you sending email at 5 o'clock, for example, and expecting people to reply you in the next 5 minutes, I don't think that's practical. So we need to use other tools, for example, messengers, WhatsApp. So that's the first thing. Second, we're talking about we need to know the function. Every tool comes with a lot of functions. So the more that we know the function, we master the function, then we can be effective in that sense. Then the last but not least, with all the tools that we have, if we're not using it, then there is no meaning to it. So we need to start using, because sometimes it's quite, for example, before the MCO, a lot of people don't really know the function of MS Teams, Skype, for example. But now, I think everyone is a master of it. Even my 6 little daughter also now knows how to use the Skype nowadays, because they have been used and they are talking to their friends. So let me share our experience. From our experience, we have using digital tool in 3 main areas. The first areas is that we talk about social conferencing and work tools. So we're using Skype and Microsoft Teams. This is to really connect our people, to have conferencing, to have daily routine discussion, Monday morning briefing, all those things. So that's how we connect our people. The second part is talking about communication and engagement. I'm so lucky that 5 years ago or 3 years ago, we've launched Workplace by Facebook. So Workplace Facebook has been used as one of the engagement tool for us to engage our people. So in our workplace, there are a lot of topics. Topics like, for example, we have hobbies, we have business topic. So it's a mix of formal and informal things. So if you want to know more about me, so my team can go that what I do on normal weekend, what am my hobby, do I have a pet? So it's all there. So I think we put a lot of time at the same time. People know you better more than Syukri Sudari, or beyond that. Then we have a chatbot as well. One of the tools that we're using, we use Amber, our chatbot. Amber is artificial intelligence with predictive capability. So Amber really engage with the team and understand that what's their need, what's their pain point. And with that whole thing, Amber will flow through information to me and to the CEO, sharing, hey, A is a struggle on certain thing. Can you help her or him in that sense? So that's how Amber helping us. And the last but not least, this I love very much in terms of learning tools, learning digital tools. So because during MCO, to be honest, we don't really have 100% people working, because we do have some people without any facilities. So what we did, we did to tell them is that this is the time for you to upskill yourself, because when you come back to return to office, then you have to gain a new skill. So learning tool is one of the digital tools to improve the productivity and efficiency as well, to upskill our people. So we're so lucky AXA has invested in LinkedIn Learning. So as you know that LinkedIn Learning has more than 7,000 courses. There are a lot of from the soft skills up to the technical skill. I did my Python the other day. So I think it's quite interesting. By the way, I don't want to be a technical, but I just want to understand how Pythons work, because now a lot of people talking about that. So I think there's so much people can learn. During MCO alone, for the last 2.5 months, our people have spent about more than 1,300 hours doing the LinkedIn Learning kind of training. So to me, it's important. And then I have touched in terms of the high tech. How about the high touch. So it needs to be balanced as well. Yes, technology is important, but at the same time, we need to go back to the touch point. So to me, that a simple phone call will do as well. So I'm encouraged my managers and our people that in this call, from time to time, do pick up your phone call and call your colleagues, ask how are they, whatever. That will be a personalized thing, and they really appreciate that. So to me, it's a balance between both, Hanniz.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's not just the employees who are learning to cope with the new technologies and new way of working. It's the employers themselves learning how to communicate better with their staff, learning to build that relationship that they might not have been able to when they were actually in the office. And now people are knowing what goes behind the walls, what goes beyond the workplace. So I think somehow the MCO has helped us in building better relationships, even though it's not a touch point basis, but more on a virtual basis. So that comes to my next question. What tips would you share with HR leaders to embrace new traits and behaviors that can help the enterprise thrive in the digital age?
To me, I always believe in this mantra. I just want to give an analogy that leaders, if we as a leaders, we entering approaching certain topic with a cup of full tea, right? If our cup is always full, it's very difficult for us to really embrace and understand new topic. So my mantra is always, how as a leader, we must be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. I think that's a very important, because I give an example. During COVID-19, almost every day we discover new things. Almost every something new pops, and then we have to tackle. We have to handle that. If you having I know all, that's a very challenging for us. We learn from 21 years old, son or man, that with a new technology, with new thing. So we have to be able to really learn new things, but at the same time, before we're able to new learn all things, sometimes we have to empty our cup. Sometimes when our cup is too full, it's very difficult for us to absorb new knowledge. So learn, unlearn, and relearn. I think it's always a mantra, and really we need to try ourselves in that sense.
And sometimes we feel that we're not doing enough, so we somehow just have to step back and say, okay, this is how much I can take in at the time, and to pace ourselves rather than rush and do too many things at one time. So a focus would be helpful, I suppose. Then comes my next question. So, some people work longer hours to prove that they're hardworking. Some overcompensate their time at work because they feel that they're not doing enough and end up being burnt out due to unnecessary guilt. Like in Singapore itself, while people say they are working more before and after traditional work hours, and even during vacation time, the impact is even more serious during the weekends, with 59% of them saying that they're working at weekends compared to 47% in January before the MCO. So this has actually had a direct impact on work-related stress, with 63% indicating they felt more stressed at work in April during the MCO as compared to 58% in January. How do you ensure that this balance is maintained?
First, I think we make a right statement. It's true. It's the fact that a lot of people are struggling outside there during MCO because they're burnt out, because they work extra mile, because they're scared, they are not really certain, they don't know how to manage that in that sense. Stress level is very high. I think I've been talking with a lot of people during MCO because I've been calling my team, and then we have discussion with people. So basically, working at home is not easy. They come with their own challenges. You just imagine people with 5 kids at home and need to manage the children, and for the wife, need to manage the husband, the daughters, and all those need to manage all at the same time, need to manage the work as well. I don't know whether you're aware or not, there is a recent statistic mentioned that every one person every one in every 3 person in Malaysia having some or other mental stress, mental issue. So Hanniz, you and I, another person, 3 of us, 1 of us having a stress. So far it's me, right?
Yeah.
So this is a fact. So the life is very so stressful. So for us, how we manage that from the employee perspective and from the leader perspective, So basically, first we're talking about awareness. So while we're implementing all the work from home, we make aware of our managers, provide sufficient guide how they need to manage this way forward in that sense. A clear communication with the managers, a clear guide being issued at the same time to the employee as well. How work from home will look like in that sense. So that's thing. So awareness is not enough. So we work on the train the people as well. In fact, one of the important training that we implement when we started work from home is that how to manage remote team. So that's one of the compulsive training that we make to all our managers, how to manage people remotely, because that's important. And the second one, the third one is that we have policy, we have awareness, we have trained our people, and then we have created the policy. So to support whatever the awareness or the training, we have work from home policy to cater all of the issues that burn out, work, how to work at home, what are the working hours to like, all those things. So this is to make sure that we have a comprehensive program or solution to support our people. And the second last one is that we listen and we validate as well. Whether we like it or not, for the last 3 months, we have, for AXA, we have done at least 2 pulse survey where we conduct a survey to all our people, asking them their mood score, how is it, how's how we communicate, do they like it, what the challenges they are facing, all those things. So this is to validate the awareness, the training, the policies, the program that we have, whether we are hitting the right thing or not. So with that, we have the clear barometers and the guidance for us. Yes, we are doing it right. And those who are not doing really well, we tweak here and there. And this thing has been discussed at the ESCO level as well. So because we believe that it's our philosophy, taking care of our people is important. So up to EO, all the attention be given, how we can address the concern that being raised by our employees. So that's how serious is that we are doing it here, Hanniz.
Okay, so it's very much about two-way communication, open communication. People are giving their feedback constantly, and the managers are, constantly also tweaking how things are done. It's not set in stone, right? Yep. So it's more about being flexible and being able to tweak things on the go. So, which comes to my last question. For job seekers who find themselves in very unusual times like ours, what tips would you like to share with them?
First, I think one of the important things for the job seekers, please do not give up, right? Because there are a lot of outside there opportunities, but we have not explored. So to me, that connect a lot. If you go to LinkedIn, there are a lot of people talking about I'm offering this, I'm offering that. So we need to connect, and then don't be selective in terms of job. This time around, just take it whatever that they have, and then you land up a job. That's the first right thing that you need to do. Then later on, you might get another one. The second one, I always share with people that if there is no permanent job, why can't you get for example, I will be delighted if someone write to me. I receive as a CPO of the company, Syukri, I would like to work with the company, and because I know that there is no hiring, there is you're not hiring anybody. Can I work for free, for example? Right? So we need to be creative. We need to think outside the box. If you go enter into an organization that you work for free, for example, you offer yourself, and then people will really evaluate how you work. How different are you? The third part is that we need to sell what is different about us, because there are thousands of people looking for jobs. What is so special about you that we should choose you? So you have to find your niche and really, really doing well in that aspect. So connect, be innovative, find outside the box, and definitely, I think you're going to end up with a job one day. So connect, because word of mouth is important in that sense.
Yeah, and also besides networking online, I think now with the MCO a bit lightened, it's also possible to start meeting people offline, and then to just shout out that you are looking for a job. Put your ego aside and just do what you need to do. Also, I guess to take this time to upskill, like what you mentioned earlier, to pick on new skills and to hopefully adapt whatever you already know and apply it to your potential new job. So thank you again, Mr. Syukri. Do we have any questions from the audience? If you do, we've got about 30 seconds for you to ask your questions. If not, we will wrap up for today. I think so far it's just about saying hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
All right, so I will wrap up this session. Thank you again so much, Mr. Syukri. Please subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.